Well, there's obviously been many psychology studies on looks and how people that are more good looking get more things. Like it's a proven fact where
Yeah.
like whether it be like favors or like anything, like good looking people get discounts or and anything.
I agree with what you say. Yeah, it is people aren't going to go to someone who looks all scruffy and something like that. They're not going to really interact with them, or they'll give them a bad rating. Realistically, wouldn't they? It's compared to what you say is in a good looking person on the outside.
Yeah, and that's actually directly reflected in, some parts of the show, isn't it, Spencer? So when she falls into the mud, and she turns up at the wedding, she like immediately has
L-
people downvoting her just because
Yeah,
of her
yeah.
looks. Because they think, and when she's at the airport trying to get a ticket, and she's just below the
Rating, yeah.
rating required to get her to get on the plane, she swears, or she like has a little bit, a tiny burst of emotion, and then people instantly behind her is like, out hesitation, vote her down, vote her down.
That's
That is,
so dumb.
but I mean, honestly though, you think about the way that we interact with people. Obviously it's less it's like less visible on the surface level, but in terms of like judgments we make about people and the way we interact with people based on a surface level judgment, it is kind of accurate.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like each of us when we meet people, I guess we all individually rate people. There's no app to show that we do rate them, but in our heads, we sort of rate them on a scale in our own head, like subjectively, obviously.
Yeah, I think we're quite quick to make judgments on people based on such a small like section of interaction. So like if you're in traffic and someone pulls in front of you without looking, you'll be like, "What the fuck? This ignorant
Yeah, yeah,
bastard. He's pulled in front of me. Absolute nonce. Like, get out of my way." And then you think, in reality, you have no idea of his current scenario. You have no scope on the situation in which to judge him rightfully, because in reality, he might have just got some really bad news. He might have some sort of personal problem which prevents him from, which like it stops him from being so aware, that kind of thing. And
yeah,
Mm.
people on, like, just generally we don't take into account people's deeper complexities that are going on within their life when we judge, and we never ever really get to, because it's usually just like, with meeting a stranger on the street, it's a fleeting second, then the judgment's made and that's it, you
Yeah,
move on.
yeah. But I guess it's also fair to say that a judgment has to be made if you meet someone so quickly, you're never going to see him again, so you only have that sort of instance to judge them off. It's the same with
Yeah, yeah. But I think the whole point I'm trying to make, and the point that I think the show is trying to make, is that people make that judgment irrespective of the fact that they know that judgment has no impact on themselves. So you judging someone doesn't do anything to you, right? Whether you judge them or not, nothing changes about you. But if you judge them negatively, it will impact them negatively. And it's this whole sort
yeah.
of this idea that this judgment that we take upon people is selfish and not righteous, like not correct really.
Yeah, that's true, I guess.
Because it's literally like you're trying to you're deliberately trying to impose harm or some sort of negative thing upon that person.
Yeah. Like you said as well, they don't actually know what's going on in her life, do they? Like if someone like she's having a bad day, people just see her like swearing or something,
Yeah,
and she's instantly getting downvoted. Yet they
Mm.
don't know the bigger picture or the whole story of what's gone on that day. I think
yeah,
it's the
yeah,
same for us.
Exactly.
Same for us. Like let's say you've woken up, you've like stubbed your toe on the bed, and that started like, the day really bad, and obviously
yeah,
it just spirals out of control there. Like, and people might see you, I don't know, like swearing and stuff as well, and people will judge you from that. Like if it's their first.
Yeah.
Just the same, and yeah,
Mate, everyone does.